that with you as well. My name is Marlo, and I am Santa's little helper tonight and giving you some cool looks at some great gift ideas. So here's one for anyone that drives a car. If you have a car, whether it's your own or you're borrowing someone else's car, it's probably happened to you where you got into that car and that check engine light came on. And all of a sudden you felt this pit in your stomach and you're like, uh-oh, because immediately you think the worst, right? It's gonna cost you a fortune. What if I could offer you a diagnostic that will cost you $20? It's an app that you'll put on your phone. You can use it with any car that is a 1996 or a newer car. So that's almost all cars that are out there. It'll give you the same diagnostic that you will get from a mechanic, but instead of paying $99, which is what my car dealership charges, you own it and you'll have it instantly. And not only will it tell you what's wrong with your car, but it will also give you a good idea of what you should pay for those services in your area. Think about going into that mechanic or that car dealership with that type of information. Well, if you're looking for a really cool gift to give, it's called the Micro Mechanic. And it's a vehicle diagnostic tool. And don't forget, it will work on every car, 1996 or newer. You get to buy this today at $3.99. Lou Caputo, who happens to be one of our home improvement experts, is joining us. I call him the solutionist, and it's nice to have you here.
It's good to be here.
So when I looked at this, I thought, wow, is this smart?
Right.
This is great for anyone that has a car.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be able to be empowered with the knowledge of knowing what's wrong with our car, because isn't that the worst feeling in the world of
it's horrible.
Not knowing what it's gonna cost? And we always go to the worst case scenario.
But here's the thing, even if you know something about cars, this is going to give you extra knowledge. This is going to help you diagnose problems that you may not know if they're serious or not. This is going to tell you. So the Micro Mechanic actually comes in this little carrying case. So you can carry it with you wherever you go, okay? You can see right there it fits inside. Now, when you pull this little unit out right here, this actually plugs in under your dashboard into what they call the OBD port. It stands for onboard data port. It's the same place that mechanics plug their computers into and tell you what's wrong with your car, okay? You download a free app and put it on your phone, okay? And it doesn't matter if you've got an iPhone or if it's an Android phone. There's an app, it's free for both, okay? So you download the app, you install it on your phone. Now let me show you how easy this is to install, because here's the thing, Marlo. Back in the day, there were other devices that you could use, right?
We sold them here.
We sold them here, and they worked. But here's the thing.
They were over $100.
And they required a lot of effort on your part, and they were hard to pair to the phone. I want to show you how easy this is, okay? So this is actually an Android tablet. Think of it as like a really big phone, okay?
But it could be Android or Apple.
Or Apple, either one, okay? And the app is free. There's my app. I'm gonna launch the app. Now watch what happens here. There it is. Now, what this is doing right now is it's telling me that it's trying to pair with this, but I haven't plugged it in yet, okay? Notice the diagram down here. This shows you where the OBD port is probably located in your car. It's always under the dashboard, and it's always on the driver's side.
As long as your car is a
1996 or later. So if you look right here, that's most likely where it's gonna be. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got my little Micro Mechanic right here. Now, we actually have an OBD port that we mounted on this piece of wood, okay? If I take my Micro Mechanic and I plug it in, as soon as I plug it in, it starts drawing power from the car, okay? And I've actually got a little computer back here that's gonna, you know, replicate what would happen in the car, okay? So now it says, all right, try again, because I didn't have it plugged in, so now it's gonna pair. Now watch how fast it pairs with this, because it's done, okay? It's already paired with it, okay? I didn't have to open up my Bluetooth menu, I didn't have to do anything, okay? So even if you don't know how your phone works, don't worry about it.
That was gonna be my next question.
How do you get it?
Well, how long will it take you to...
Watch. Okay, here's the button that says Start Scan. I hit that button, Micro Mechanic's working. It's talking to the car now and checking all the systems, seeing what it says. Okay, so now we've got some problems with our car, okay? And it came up on here and it says there's a mass or volume airflow circuit range. There's a problem with that. Same thing here, but in a different area, and a mass or volume flow circuit low input. So 3 different things with the same system. Now, do you know if these are safe to drive, or is this like, you know, something that you can drive with?
I'll be honest, I don't have a clue.
No, exactly. Most people wouldn't. Here's the thing. Right here in the upper corner, it says safe to drive. So even though there's a problem, it tells you. Now, if it wasn't safe to drive, that would appear in red and it would say unsafe to drive. It would tell you don't take the car.
To know.
But here's the other part. Watch this. I press on this. Boom! It tells me how much I should pay for this. It tells me what the problem is, and it says to get this repaired, it should cost me $70 to $350, depending on where I go for it, okay? But you know, if somebody says to you, this is gonna cost $1,500, you know what? Probably not.
I will tell you, for me, it's powerful in both of those ways.
It really is.
Number one, it's gonna virtually instantly give me an idea of what's wrong with my stuff, my car, so that I'm not all day worried about, oh my gosh, you know, what's looming over me, right? Because it's that cloud that looms over you, the unknown.
Can you drive to work, or can you not?
Is it safe to drive your car?
Right.
But most importantly, it gives you the power of going to a mechanic with knowledge.
It levels the playing field a little bit.
And knowledge is power because it gives you a range of what those repairs might cost.
Right.
And I'll just be honest with you, Lou, as a woman, a lot of times, and ladies, you know this to be true, sometimes they see us coming, and a lot of women know about cars and really have it, but a lot of us don't.
Right.
And those of us, and I include myself in the category, I don't know. And I love having an idea of what those repairs will cost me. And men appreciate it as well. I think we all do, because there might be something wrong with your car, especially some of the newer cars that have a lot of electronics and a lot of things that are happening with the cars. Can you imagine getting that type of information for a $20 bill? Now that's a cool gift.
Yep.
That's a great gift. So I can think of so many people on my gift list that this would be wonderful for.
Anybody who drives.
Who's on your gift list that this would be great for? Would this be great for your grandson or granddaughter? Maybe they're off to college or they have a car. What about your husband? What about your nephew? What about your son-in-law or your daughter-in-law? You think about that for $4 on a credit card, because everything is on 5 flexible payments. And please, I gotta remind everybody, shop with confidence. I know when we say gift lists and shopping for the holidays, remember here at HSN, we start our holiday return policy early. We started yesterday. So although you're buying this today, you have until January 31st of 2019.
Oh yeah.
I didn't count it, but I think it's somewhere around 100 and something days for a full refund. How do you like that? So whether you're getting this for yourself or you're saying, you know what, I like that as a great gift idea, and because of the 5 flex pay on everything this week, I'm gonna get my holiday shopping underway. I'll worry about who I'll give this to a little bit later on. Make the order, do it tonight. You will not regret it. This type of technology is so useful.
It
for
really
everyone,
is.
and it's easy to use, and I think that's the best part about it.
You know what, it's easier now than it's ever been too. And that's the thing about this, because in the past, I've had devices like this before where I'd plug them into the OBD port under the dashboard. All it would do is give me a code. And I'd have to look that code up to know, but then even once I saw what the code was, I didn't know if I could drive the car or not. You know what I mean? This actually tells me. Now let me show you some other things you can do with this, okay? Let's go back to the tablet, because you see we've still got our warning up here, okay? So if I go back, it'll take me back. Oh, before I do that, here's all the scheduled maintenance for the vehicle. It knows what you're driving. It knows what the maintenance should be. So let's say that I'm gonna do maybe my 25,000 mile service. I click on that and it tells me exactly what the maintenance is that I should be doing at 25,000 miles. That is invaluable to me. You know, if it doesn't say rotate my tires and they say to me at the dealership, you need to rotate your tires, it's gonna be like, do I? You know what I mean? So it opens the conversation for me, okay? But if I want to, let's say I go back to the list of all the issues that I had here, okay? We hit the back button. Notice what it says right here. Reset engine light. Now, why is that a big deal? Have you ever driven around with that engine light on day after day after day? But in this case, I know I've got 3 things wrong, but they're all okay to drive with. I need to get to a mechanic, but I can still take my trip. I can still go to work. I can just hit that little button that says reset, boom.
Can I tell you?
And it turns the light off.
And that instantly helps me to relax. Because there's something about that engine light being on that drives your blood pressure up and stresses you out, right? Makes you nervous, increases your anxiety. So a couple questions for you.
Go ahead.
Do I need to charge the device in any way?
No, it draws the power from the car, so you don't have to worry about that.
So I store it in the case. There's a case.
Put in that little tiny case right there.
A case comes with it. And what's it's the best place to keep it in the car, in your home?
You know what? It depends. Like if you're, obviously if you're somebody who changes from car to car, you might want to put in your briefcase or your purse or something like that. If you have multiple vehicles, vehicles, I say leave it at home, you know what I mean? And then you can check the cars when the engine light comes on.
So that was gonna be my next question. Will it only work for one car?
No, every car in your family.
And how many times will it give me that diagnostic?
Oh, as many times as you want.
Very nice.
And you know what? You may use this 100 times and get that all clear, everything's fine.
Yeah.
But that one time that it tells you.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's what this is about, that one time. And even just keeping up with the maintenance. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
So you know what to do with the different maintenance intervals. I mean, to me, that's a big deal. But see how it just plugs in under the dashboard? This is the simplest thing. I don't care if you don't know, you know, a lug nut from a wing nut. It doesn't matter.
That would be me.
Yeah, right?
I'm so guilty of it.
It doesn't matter.
I think years ago when I was a teenager, my dad might have taught me how to change the oil in the car and change a tire.
Right.
I've never done it. I've never done it. I honestly, and I don't want to do it, but I like the idea of having the information.
Yep.
I do, because if I'm going to go to a mechanic, I want to be able to speak intelligently with the mechanic and have a great conversation with the mechanic and to find out the who, what, where. And I like that he or she doesn't know that I have the information in my mind.
Right. You already know.
So as you're telling me all of this stuff, I got to make sure that it checks out. Imagine that level of power that you'll be able to give as a gift or have for yourself, and it's less than $4 on a credit card. So if you haven't shopped with us, our FlexPay is free. Everyone can use our FlexPay. You're more than welcome even to use, a lot of you don't know this, but you can use FlexPay more than once. Like, let's say if you want to buy 4 of these, you can use FlexPay 4 times.
I've been here 30 years, I did not know that.
Oh, yes, indeed.
That's fantastic.
I bought like, I'm not exaggerating, I did buy like 6 toys earlier today. Because I'm trying to.
Good day for that.
I'm Santa's helper. I'm a little elf. And so I use FlexPay every single time. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
encouraging you to call, place your orders with us. If you're just tuning in, we want to go over it for you once again because it's called Micro Mechanic. And if you're just tuning in, this little device you plug into your car and it will give you a diagnostic of what's going on with your car.
And it
diagnosis of what's going on in your car.
Right, and it uses Bluetooth from the device itself to your cell phone. Again, it'll work with Apple or it'll work with Android, either one. The app is free that you put on your phone or device. In this case, I've got it on a tablet.
And there's no fee for this.
No fee for this whatsoever, okay? I'm gonna press the button one more time. We'll do another scan. Let's see what comes up this time. And it happens very quickly. It checks with the computer very fast, then it searches inside of here. So diagnostics, again, a slightly different problem, kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. And again, I can just press the button. It tells me how much it's gonna cost to get it done. Again, it says safe to drive right there in yellow. If it were not safe to drive, it would be in red. It would say unsafe to drive. That means just leave the car where it is, call a tow truck, whatever you gotta do.
I tell you what, this would have helped me about a year ago. I was having so much car trouble, and I just kept asking the mechanic, how much more money am I gonna pour? My car was already old and used. How much more money am I gonna have to pour into this car? How much more?
It's important to know.
I wish I had a larger global picture of what it was,
This.
Because they just had me going every single week, you know?
Another 100 here, another 100 there.
And so here you'll have all the information.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. My
for being
pleasure.
here. I love this. Is a great gift idea.
It's awesome.
Well, we've got more where that came for. All right, we're going to get more practical as far